How do you wake up knowing those facts and data I just showed you tell a conclusive story that you failed? You probably got people killed. And yet you look in the mirror and you say, I'm going to go out today and tell the opposite story to lie to people and potentially put them in danger. How do you do it? I'm interested. Seriously, email me. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear how your soul is so corrupted that you're absolutely convinced you can lie to people day by day and put their lives in danger. So we have seen an uptick in coronavirus infections. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with these lockdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, you may say, well, lockdowns are supposed to be stopping the coronavirus. They're not, folks. What's happening now is there's very strong evidence that the coronavirus is spreading when infected people show up indoors and spend a lot of time in recirculated indoor air with people who are uninfected that then become infected afterwards. A lot of evidence. Wall Street Journal has this piece up today about how they're conveniently trying to pin this all on Trump. So number one, the lockdowns are a disaster. Number two, we're doing more testing where we're finding more cases. Wall Street Journal opinion, COVID comparisons, Europe and US. The America's a Failure reporting has a heavy dose of partisanship by their editorial board. Of course, they're trying to pin this on Donald Trump. Let me go to takeaway number one from this piece. Again, this isn't based on any actual evidence or statistics. If you want that, you have to come here. If you want to be lied to, just read the mainstream media on anything. From protests to Russia to the Wuhan virus. Check this out from the piece. Quote, with Trump leading the way, record surge in new infections exposes failure in U.S. response, the dreadful Washington Post wrote Sunday. I added dreadful in there. Liberals are just juxtaposing the U.S. with Europe, which ostensibly had the virus under control. The Trump administration has sometimes been too sanguine, but much of this is partisan opportunism in an election year. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no evidence to suggest whatsoever that these lockdowns have worked and that Trump's response is what's causing this uptick in coronavirus infections. None. They have no evidence. But yet the Washington Post, again, garbage people newspaper over there, only morons read this because it's just rife with fake news, as I showed you earlier in the show, are trying to pin this on Trump because it's obviously to their election advantage because they're liberal activists to ding Trump and knock down his political capital. Well, let's look at the actual evidence from the same Wall Street Journal piece. Again, just let's set up the narrative first. Remember, the media is here to tell you our story, not this story. The narrative is what? The narrative is Trump has failed. Europe has done much better. And these liberal state governors like Andrew Cuomo have really put Trump to shame. They've showed you how to really deal with this coronavirus. Really? Well, let's look at the actual data if you believe in that kind of thing. Check this out from the Wall Street Journal piece, because the data tells the exact opposite story. Quote, even with the latest outbreaks, the U.S. has recorded fewer deaths per 100,000 people at 38 than the United Kingdom, 66. Spain, is this possible? 61. So United States, 38 deaths per 100,000. The media narrative is that Europe and others are doing much better. But 38, the UK has 66 deaths per 100,000, Spain 61, Italy 57 deaths per 100,000, France 44 deaths per 100,000. Death rates are a lagging indicator, but Arizona has 21 per 100,000, Florida only 15, and Texas 8. New York, which opened up last and slowly, has a death rate per 100,000 of 161. 161. Wait. So again, we've been told by serious journalists out there, Joe, our betters, our moral and intellectual betters. We're just a bunch of deplorable morons, you know. Trump blew it. Dan. That's right. Of course it's right. What do we know? Bunch of idiots come on this show. I mean, come on now. Facts and data. Who does that stuff, right? So we've been told that it's these liberal governors that have led the way. Thank God for Andrew Cuomo and them. And if we were only more like our European betters, you know, the enlightened ones, we would have definitely gotten a hold over this. And yet, Joe, you find out that the United States overall has a death rate per 100,000 far beneath these European countries, and that conservative-led states, Arizona, Texas, and Florida, that have Republican governors, have death rates per 100,000 10 times less than that of New York. Folks, you are witnessing. I don't, forgive me because I don't remember who posted it this weekend on social media. You probably agree with this, Joe. And I may have been Jordan Schachtel or someone. Forgive me. I
All
don't
right.
remember. I didn't screenshot it. But it was out there, and the assertion he made was correct. You are witnessing one of the greatest gaslighting episodes we've seen in modern American history. You may say, gosh, that sounds like a lot considering we just got over the collusion gaslighting. I'm not kidding. You are witnessing a gaslighting episode focused on the coronavirus that is totally, entirely not only divorced from the facts, but when you look at the facts and data, tell the exact opposite story of the media story. Media story. Trump stinks. Europe rules. Liberal governors are the best. Trump sucks. He's going to get you killed. And those conservative governors, Ron DeSantis, they're definitely the worst. And yet you look at the data and you find out that the death rate per 100,000 in New York, contrast to Florida, is more than 10 times that. You understand it's not just the media is lying to you. They're lying to you and telling you the exact opposite story. They're flipping the script. And dopey liberals, just like the Russia story this weekend, fall for it. Or if they don't fall for it, they are active liars and manipulators. Listen, I got to run, but I'm going to leave I'm going to just, again, I can't ask this question enough. To the liberal listeners of this show and the basement dwellers at Media Matters, put down your Hostess cupcakes for a minute and pay attention. Seriously, how do you look yourselves in the mirror? I'm not kidding. How do you wake up knowing those facts and data I just showed you tell a conclusive story that you failed? You probably got people killed. And yet you look in the mirror and you say, I'm going to go out today and tell the opposite story to lie to people and potentially put them in danger. How do you do it? I'm interested. Seriously, email me. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear how your soul is so corrupted that you're absolutely convinced you can lie to people day by day and put their lives in danger.